Hi guys, so now we're going to look at assignment operators. Now assignment operators in JavaScript, they basically do what the name implies. So you assign a value to a variable. Alright, so when you want to do that, store a value instead of a variable, you can use an assignment operator. Now you've seen me use the equal sign a lot in my previous tutorials from this JavaScript for Beginners series. So you should be familiar with the equal sign now. If you don't know what it does or how it works, I recommend you look at my videos about JavaScript variables. In the last video from this series, we were performing arithmetic operations, and for that we use the addition operator, subtraction operator, etc. So now we are going to look at shorthands operators. So I'm going to add the equal sign here. We're not going to use the increment and decrement operators. We used that in the last tutorial. If you remember, we use these respectively to increase a value by 1 and to decrease a value by 1. But what happens if you want to increase a value by 10, by 100, 1,000, a million, for instance? Or if you simply want to iterate through an array of numbers, you don't really know what values you're going to get, but you just want to add them up all together. So I'm going to have a variable here. I'm going to call it number. And I'm assigning the value of 10. So this is the basic assignment operator, the equal sign. Now I want to increase the value of number by 20. Or let's say by 50. This looks correct, right? But there's a better way to do that. First, let's check if it works. Indeed, we get the number 60. So this works. Now, I'm going to use the assignment operator, addition assignment operator in JavaScript, and it looks like this. So we have the same value. So you remember that when we were dealing with increments, I said that this, which is going to give us 11, was the same thing as saying number plus 1, right? But in this case, because we are adding by 50, I cannot use the plus symbol, and there is no logic such as if you write plus multiple times, the number is going to equal the number or the amounts of plus symbols. That will just give you a syntax error, and as you can see, I'm not getting anything here now. So back to the addition assignments operator, I can use plus equal, and that's it. Let's now look at how this works with subtractions. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it right here, but this time around I'm going to add minus and I'm going to comment this out, and we get minus 40. Again, keep in mind that this is actually the same thing as writing this. Now, careful not to invert the order of the elements or the values here. This is not the same thing. You cannot assume that it is the same thing as writing this. Now we have 40, not negative 40. We have 40, and the result is wrong. So when you use the assignment operator, subtraction assignment operator, or addition assignment or whatever, the variable comes first. So this negative 40 equals minus equals 50. All right, and we get the proper results. So again, I'm going to copy this, comment this out, add this here, and I'm going to add multiply equals, and we get 500. That is the same thing as number times this. Now, because we are multiplying here, even if you had made a mistake of writing this times number, you will still get 500 because the order in multiplications doesn't matter, but it does with subtractions. So you always keep in mind the proper order of the values. So in this case, I'm going to have, and we get the results. So now I'm going to comment this out. And I'm going to add this here. Let number equals 10, number divide equals 50, and we get 0.2. The same thing as if I wrote number divided by 50. So this is correct. So I believe by now you get the idea. Whatever symbol you would write here, you just remove this, and this switches its place to come in front of the equal sign. All right, so always keep this in mind. Now, exponentiation assignment operator. So we have 10. 50 is going to give us a humongous number, which is not what I want. So I'm going to have this to the power of 5, but instead of divide, I'm going to have the exponent operator in front of the equal sign, in which case we get 5 zeros. 100,000. Now, with the remainder assignment operator, I could say percentage equals 5, in which case I get 0, which is correct, because 10 divided by 5 equals 2, and there is no remainder. Let's try with 7. I should get 3. So this works. Same thing as writing number, percentage sign, 7. Again, number gets removed, percentage sign switches places and comes before the equal sign. And that is it. We do not have increment assignment operator or decrement assignment operator. If you want to increase and assign at the same time, in the same way we saw earlier in this very video, then you have to use the addition assignment operator. Or if you want to subtract, subtraction assignment operator. So I hope you got the concept here and it was easy for you to follow this video. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment below, and share it with your friends. Cheers.